wanting to do things right when trials are heaped on you, and being someone who has deep faith. How, and this is a question that's been asked of sisters I visit teach, how does one lay their burdens at the feet of the Savior? What is my responsibility? How do I do that constructively? What's my responsibility?
What a terrific question, and pretty basic for all of us from, I think, our early years up. I hear in that question kind of 2 points, and they're the points I think we'd come back with regarding an answer, and that is that this is a twofold response. I'm supposed to do something to help myself. I'm supposed to be committed. I'm supposed to be striving. I'm supposed to be exerting faith. I'm supposed to be repenting and making an effort. But I'm also aware that in all of those categories, I'm going to be inadequate. I'm going to be mortal. I'm going to be telestial, and however well I do, it probably won't be well enough. And however strong I am, there are going to be some situations that I'm just not equal to this, and therefore we call on the Lord and yield to the Lord. And by the way, that's one of the terrific things about the Psalms. That is what you hear. David is Israel's most famous and most popular king. This is the boy who had everything, or the young man who had everything. But you regularly hear these cries saying, I'm not equal to this. I can't do this. I can't measure up. And so you're asking his question, and we all ask it. And maybe I've just already suggested the answer, or at least part of the answer. That wonderful line from the Book of Mormon says, it's by grace that you're saved after all that we can do. And so every day you fight the fight and put your shoulder to the wheel and pray a little harder and meditate a little longer and read the scriptures a little more thoroughly and just work on the things that make us a disciple of Christ, and do all that we can do in that phrase from Nephi. But then acknowledge, and I stress this equally thoroughly, that probably the worst thing that we can do is think that we're good enough, that we're adequate enough, that we're strong enough, that we can do this on our own. Almost nothing can we do as well as it should be done without turning ourselves over to God and laying our burdens at His feet, to use your phrase from your visiting teacher, sister. So probably it's as individual as the day and the task and the person and the problem, and some days we're going to feel stronger than normal, and we can do a little more and kind of feel like we're on top of it, and we grow a little. Other days we may feel like we can hardly get out of bed, and the very fact that the sun is coming up overwhelms me. We've all had days like that, so we probably move back and forth between those extremes in life, and just keep working at the combination. It's a little bit of a synergism. It's a little bit like a yin and yang, and that is, there's a part of this whole that we have to do, and there's another part that God has to do, and that may, depending on our growth and our need and what He wants for us and what He's teaching us, we may be forced and moved back and forth between those each day and each time and each circumstance. But the very way you've posed the question, I think, helps you already understand the answer, and that is, do your best, try your hardest, don't give up, but always realize that there is that compensating help, and there will always be tasks beyond our reach, and God knows that, and we know that, and the angels in heaven know that, and they are prepared and always will be to come and help. And if we do this often enough, if you work through that enough days and through enough years, lo and behold, you're going to be celestial one of these days. Just don't be surprised.